Have you ever noticed how your paycheck disappears faster than popcorn at the movies? I mean, one moment you're feeling rich and the next you're wondering if someone hacked your debit card. And spoiler, it was probably just you, swiping, tapping, and clicking away without even realizing it. Ouch. Hey everybody, welcome to Thrifty Budgeting. Today, we're talking about the no spend challenge. What if you could go days, even weeks, without spending a dime on anything extra and still enjoy yourself? Yeah, that's a kicker, right? But that's exactly what this challenge is about. In this video, you're going to get the skinny on what it really is and isn't, plus how to set up one so it actually works for your life. Now, we'll also uncover some clever ways to make it not only doable, but surprisingly rewarding. All right, let's get into it. What is a no spend challenge and what it's not? Think of it as a short break from non-essential spending. So for a set time, that could be a weekend, a week, or even an entire month, you commit to covering only the essentials. Things like rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, and medications if you need them. Now, that means no random Target runs, no late night Amazon binges, and no drive-through moments where fries mysteriously appear in your passenger seat. I mean, seriously? It's like they teleport in when you're not looking. So here's the thing about this challenge. It's not about punishing yourself. Really, you're not signing up for deprivation or even trying to prove that you can survive without coffee like some sort of budget superhero. A no-spend challenge is more like a reset. It gives you space to be able to step back, catch your breath, and take a closer look at your habits while finally holding on to more of your money instead of watching it disappear. And don't worry, again, it's not forever. You're not giving up joy, hobbies, or flavor for life. You're just pressing pause on impulse buys long enough to figure out what really matters. When you stop running on spending autopilot, you'll start noticing the difference between what genuinely adds value and, well, what just ends up cluttering your budget and probably your junk drawer too. So now that we know what the challenge actually is, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why people try this challenge? Which is a great question. I mean, why the heck would anyone want to participate in a no spend challenge? I mean, where's the fun in that? And honestly, the reasons are just as different as the people doing it. For some, it's about saving for something specific, like a vacation, an emergency fund, or finally replacing that laptop that wheezes louder than your coffee maker. For others, it's about breaking the cycle of impulse buying. You know, the classic toothpaste run that somehow ends with 3 candles, a throw pillow, and a plant you didn't even like. Then there are the folks who want to break old habits. Spending can go on autopilot really fast, and this challenge helps you to snap right out of it. Now, some people do it to spark creativity. Once you take spending off the table, that's when your creativity kicks in, and suddenly those chickpeas in the back of your pantry have become a crispy roasted treat. And finally, a lot of people do it to reduce stress. I mean, less spending means fewer bills and fewer regrets and fewer random gadgets showing up at your door that seem like a good idea at 2 in the morning. So now that we've covered why people take on the no spend challenge, let's talk about how to actually make it work. So think of this as a budget lockdown challenge, and every good challenge starts with boundaries. Introducing the ground rules. Here's where the rubber meets the road. Every challenge needs boundaries, and this one is no different. So let's start with the basics for this challenge. What you can spend on, aka your needs. Now look, essentials are still fair game, so we're going to start with a big one, and that's going to be your rent or your mortgage. And the next is going to be your utilities. And the groceries make the cut here too, but we're talking just the basics on the groceries, which means beans, rice, eggs, that type of basics. The fancy $7 cupcakes and truffle oil can wait their turn. Remember, this is just a short pause here. There's also transportation and medical expenses are in too. Prescriptions, doctor visits, even surprise dental drama if that pops up. And of course, debt payments are non-negotiable. Skip those and you're just inviting credit credit score chaos. Now, not everything makes the cut. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Dining out is off the table, right? Even Taco Tuesday. But hey, homemade tacos, totally allowed. You also want to cut back on clothes and accessories. And entertainment spending takes a break as well, which means no movie tickets, no streaming rentals, and no shiny game downloads. It's time to grab friends or family and dust off those board games. Online shopping, yeah, that's a no. The just browsing Amazon tab, close it. And impulse buys don't make the cut. Look, if it wasn't on your radar yesterday, it doesn't belong in your cart today. Now, we understand that life, it happens. And if you need to grab a birthday gift or cover an emergency vet bill, that's totally okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about intention. Now, the whole point about this is to stop spending on autopilot and start spending with purpose. So now that we've got the rules down, the next step is choose your no spend method. So this is where you decide how you want to tackle your challenge. And the fun part, there's more than one way to do it. Now, some people start off small with a no spend day. Now, this is just 24 hours of zero non-essential spending. I mean, it's like a money detox, and you're going to be surprised at how empowering that this feels. Now, others will push it a little further with a no spend weekend. So this one takes a little bit of prep work, but not much. So think about batch cooking, planning your entertainment, and making sure that you've got coffee stocked up. Now, trust me, running out of caffeine halfway through is dangerous, at least in my family. Now, if you're ready for a bigger reset, try a no spend week. This is where you really start to notice your habits, planning your meals, avoiding temptations, or maybe even saying no to a social invite or two. And then there's the bold move, the no spend month. Now, this one's going to take some grit, but it is doable. So a lot of people will choose the month of January after the holiday splurge, or they'll jump on October before the holiday chaos begins and then use that extra money they might save toward Christmas. And to motivate yourself just a little bit, you can also make it fun with themed challenges or a pantry challenge where you only eat what's already in the kitchen. Or you can even do a no takeout month here where you flex your cooking skills. Or you can even do a cash only week, because handing over a 20 feels way different than just swiping your credit card. At the end of the day, it's not about which version you choose. It's about progress and seeing just how much you can save once you hit pause on the spending train. Now, of course, whichever method that you choose, you've got to set yourself up for success. And that all starts with how to prep. Now, I'll be the first to say that jumping into a no spend challenge without prep is a lot like running a marathon in flip-flops. You're gonna regret it fast. A little planning goes a long way. So here's how to set yourself up for success. First, decide your rules ahead of time. Everyone's version looks a little different. Now, some go hardcore with no spending on anything but rent and bills. Others allow some wiggle room for groceries, gas, or birthdays. The key here is to write down your yes and no list before you start, and that way you're not making it up on the fly. Now, next, you want to take inventory. So dig through your fridge, pantry, freezer, even your bathroom cabinets, and believe me, you'll probably discover enough food and supplies to get you through at least half the challenge without spending a dime. And score if you happen to find that bag of frozen blueberries you totally forgot you had. Then you want to plan your meals. Don't put the pressure on yourself to think that it has to be Instagram worthy meal prep here. You just want to map out what you'll eat so you're not tempted to accidentally order pizza. Now, another lifesaver that you can use here is remove temptation. So that means you can unlink your credit cards from shopping apps. Delete a few of the worst offenders here, or just move them to a folder named Do Not Touch. And when you can, leave your wallet at home. If you can't swipe, you can't spend. And finally, get some accountability. You can tell a friend, post about it online, or keep a little tracker. Having someone cheer you on, or at least laugh with you when you're side-eyeing that coffee coffee shop makes the whole thing a lot easier. Now, once you've got your prep handled, the real test begins, filling your time without reaching for your card. And that's where things actually get fun. What to do instead of spending. Now, here's the truth. A no-spend challenge isn't really about saying no. It's about finding new ways to say yes. Now listen, boredom is often the sneakiest culprit that you gotta be aware of behind impulse spending. So instead of shopping, fill that space with things that give you a win without tanking your finances. So you want to go out there and try to find some free fun. You can do this by going to your local park, library events, free museum days. I mean, there's actually more going on than you realize, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Now, you can also do a DIY spa day. Light a candle, mix up some sugar and olive oil, and suddenly you've got yourself a budget-friendly exfoliation that feels fancy. Now, if you're feeling productive, you can always put that downtime into a side hustle. You can start a small project that puts money in your pocket instead of taking it out. Now, if that's not your thing, you can tackle a home project. So declutter a closet, rearrange the furniture, or finally go through that junk drawer that may or may not be a portal to another dimension. And don't forget to use what you already have. So cook up that pantry challenge meal. Use up the half bottle of shampoo or repurpose what's lying around. You'll be amazed at how creative you can get when you're not clicking add to cart. Listen, the no spend challenge isn't about never spending money again. It's about learning to spend with purpose. All you're doing is pressing pause on the endless swipe and click cycle and tuning in to what you really need versus what just caught your eye. And here's the good news. Even if you slip up, it happens. You still come out ahead. If you do this challenge, you'll walk away with more awareness, better habits, and probably a few extra dollars sitting in your account, which is not too bad for a little experiment in saying no. So whether you're cutting back for a weekend or committing to a full month, remember this. A no spend challenge isn't about restriction. Really, it's about freedom. Freedom from clutter, from impulse buys, and from that, oh my God, where did all my money go feeling. Now, go out there because you've got this. As always, stay thrifty.